but trust me. If I could do it, it'd have been done. I like the pinky work too. A lot of people don't do pinky work. I do pinky work. Yeah, trust me. I get people with the pinky too. I went out my way to make sure people ain't say nothing about this shit being useless. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see. We don't use the pinky for nothing. Okay.
It's underrated finger.
I used to do a trick with my left hand. Catch it with the pinky while like that. I didn't get back on it. That's very hard. Because your pinky still feel like it's not even on your hand when you're trying to use it. Appealing to the people in the crowd. Like you have to make them smile. You have to smile. You have to interact with them because honestly, people watch TV all day. You know, that's nothing but you watching something and not interacting really with what you're entertained by. But when somebody books a show, you don't want to give them TV all over again. Just be, like go up to them, maybe like put a stick in their face and twirl it around, like, throw it in the air. Like, just be social while you're performing. That's something that I find a good element that I use. And it works a lot because, you'll have that person you appeal to, they'll come up to you later like, oh, hey, let's take a picture. And like, yeah, I remember you. So that's an element I'll use. Every school I went to, because I always moved to a different school like every 3 years. So I'm always used to meeting new people. So I almost kind of had to adapt to different people all of the time. And it's just always me alone. So it almost like got rid of a fear of people and meeting people, the nervousness of like, who you could be. It's like, no, I already had to meet everybody at once and they're all scared the shit out of me. So it's good for once that you can be hired and everybody wants to see you. Like to be on the opposite feeling like, okay, everybody doesn't like me, but now everybody is here to see me. That's a big difference, big difference. So I had no choice but to just love it, work with it, and just I ask people a lot of questions and I'm curious. Everybody's different and everybody, either you do the same thing but in a different way.
Seems like that might be a factor with the practicing as well. Curiosity.
Yep. Practicing, I had a wild agenda. I had a wild practice regimen, I'll tell you that. Practice, I was a late bloomer when it came to the drums. Like I didn't get on the drum line till it was like 10th grade. I was in the band, I played trumpet. I always wanted to play drums. My sister said, no, go play trumpet. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to you because you are a veteran in here. She told me to play trumpet. I played trumpet, learned how to read music and write music quick as hell. I played that for about 2 years. The horn instructor left, I went right to the drums. I was like, no, you're not gonna ruin this for me. I'm gonna go somewhere. Every time I pick up a snare, they'll call me dirty and take me right off the snare. And I was just like, fuck, that can't be the case. I have to practice. I would literally take my hands under the water while I'm in the bathtub and just do singles. Just do singles, work on my stamina. I used to have a stool in my room. I would put a shoestring on the bottom legs as a leg rest and tie a strap in the little holes in the stool and practice marching. And the only person who respected that was Harvey Thompson because he's the only person who actually saw that. He came to my house on the sneak tip one day. He was like, yo, you got drums? I was like, hell yeah, I got drums. And I pulled out the stool, he started laughing. And then after that, I just felt confident that somebody believed in my potential, not just me, And I started going harder with the drums. Joined Black Fire Percussion, did my first show.
The time I've known you, it's like I can tell you just love drumming and like you really always want to improve.
Yes, I do. I love it.
How do you keep it interesting? Like, what do you think about when you're practicing?
I don't think at all. I don't think at all. It's no thought process. It's really just it's almost a meditation, actually. Sometimes I'll start practicing and forget to practice, and my hands will be warmed up, and I'll just be drumming crazy, just doing shit. And it's really no thought process at all until, like, you know, I want to make a video, and I got to think of like the parts and what parts match with this part of the song, and like what's gonna be visually good when the beat isn't as rocking. Like, I think of stuff like that. So I don't want anybody to miss excitement. You know, I don't want a bored part anywhere. I wrote a rhyme. I was like, I'm in the kitchen cooking up in the morning, nonstop, making sure that my shit not boring. And that's like, I literally go by that. And I try not to make anything bland. It's like, yo, it don't have to be too much, but it's just not boring, you know? After it's not boring, you put it in a certain way at a certain time, a certain place, like it's gonna jump. Shit's gonna jump. People like having fun. Sometimes people had too much fun and they're not looking for what you're giving them. That happens, people are human. I understand that. I also like psychology. I took that in Benedict College. Not too much, but it was enough for me to understand like that the human mind and psychology is an important subject.
How so? Like what aspects of psychology?
What sounds make people react? Like, is it the drum roll? Is it the rim shot? Is it the rim clicks? Is it the buzzes? Is it the technical chops? Is it the, what's up, dog? Is it the technical chops? Is it the tricks? And then that is like, you know, some people, like, boom. Some people, right, like the beat. Some people like the voice. Some people cater to both. If they like the voice, they'll definitely probably look for more simple, clean things like a drum roll, like a look something like that, maybe a consistent flam drags. But if they like the beat, you can go crazy. You could go crazy because, you know, as long as it's fitting in between the beat that he likes, he's gonna hear it, he's gonna enjoy it. Because thing about the voices, the people who like the voices, it's like everything else. If you say something that is not comprehensible to the person, they're not gonna understand it. So you have to give them something that they can't understand. So if you give them too much, it's like overload. So like a nice, decent, they like stuff like that. And then, you know, if you like the beat, I give it to you. I give it to you raw, like just straight up, just boom, pow, all of that.
And I feel like you have some cool influences too. Like when I see you put out these videos, like you're influenced by anime, you know, you're influenced by video games. What do those mean to you?
Almost the world. I will not lie to you. My favorite fictional character, Sonic the Hedgehog. I like speed, and he wasn't like every other character where it was just like, I'm gonna save the world. Like, no, he had attitude. It was like he wanted to do it because he wanted to do it, not because everybody wanted him to. It was more like, if I got the time, which he does because he's fast, I'm gonna do it. And that's almost like the oxymoron of Sonic. It's like, if I got time, I'll do it on my time. But you always have time because you can beat time. Anime doesn't really influence me a lot, but I will say what I do like, what they bring is the over dramatic action. I like overly dramatic things that don't need to be dramatic. That's what they do. Like, I made a video, the cooking video. I was pouring the water. I'm just pouring a cup of water. But you just make that so dramatic, and it's like, I could literally see like the Japanese onomatopoeias and their language and their symbols and shit, like pow, pow. I like shit like that. I just like grandiose, spontaneous, just like random shit. I like that. I think that shit gets the people going.
Well, it seems like it kind of relates to your performance style in some ways.
Yeah, it does. Like, I like the element of surprise. I should have said that. I said that a lot. I always tell people, like, the element of surprise is what I like the most. I like for you to think that you know everything and then bow. Before you know it, I got more. I got way more. And it's good. You're gonna like it. So, element of surprise, definitely, I use that a lot. So if you think I ain't doing nothing, surprise, no, I'm doing something. I'm more like an observer of like the good things that multiple people do, not just like one specific person. Like you can be you be a fucking dope fiend, but you probably doing something amazing. I'm gonna look at that and say, hey, you got something in you that's keeping you consistent at doing this shit, man. There's something in everybody. And I take that shit. I take from everybody. I tell my friends, I learn from y'all. I learn from my friends. I tell them every day. I don't think they believe me. It's like, if you're teaching me something, I'm gonna act like I don't know anything about it, just to see how much I could pick up. It's because sometimes your prior knowledge is getting in the way of more learning. And yeah, I'm hard-headed, so I know I gotta like put a cap on it sometimes.
How about staying like motivated? Is there anything that you do to stay motivated?
Women help me stay motivated.
How so?
Because women run the world. I mean, women make the world go round. I'd say that. Not only women, but I'd say that's a major factor, because even when I was young, I would want to like drum and get the ladies and stuff like that, you know? But now it's more of a, women have a better eye for things, you know? Like, I could count on one hand how many times a man has booked me for a drumming show. You know what I'm saying? Probably like once or twice, but women do it all the time. So it's like, okay, women like to see men do physical things. And men like that. It's a lot of things that men don't do that they get to see when they are in the act of trying to get money. So when I see a woman, such as like what's about to pass me, when I see that, it's almost like, yeah, if I drum for you, you'll like it. You won't hate on me. You won't really like give me the illogical disagreements or bad opinions, you know? But for man, there's jealousy involved. It can be envy. It can be all of this, like, you know, extra things that attraction would not play a part in, you know? Like, attraction plays a big part, and attraction is not a choice. So I would say women help me stay motivated, because when there's nothing that is nobody, I believe, like my boys, I know women gonna love it. Another thing that keeps me motivated is, number one thing is me. Like, I love to do new things with what I spend time doing. I love challenges. I like figuring out things. I love strategies. I love puzzles. I love all of that type of stuff. So when I'm not feeling like I can do anything, it makes me figure out what I need to figure out to fix it. It makes me want to figure out what's wrong. And it's always like, it's never just something with me. It's always something wrong. And I always try to like look for it and fix it. And most of the times I don't fix it. And that's when I believe there's nothing even wrong. And I just get back on track. It's like a self-motivating thing with me, because I love it so much. And I know, like, even when I get mad, the first thing I do is grab sticks and drums when I just can't do shit. I grab the sticks, the pad, and I'm back at it again. So sometime in the world, somebody will get me mad and I'll pick up the sticks again. So I probably never ever stop drumming as long as there's like irritating people in the world. I will say my favorite motivational video is the Shia LaBeouf video when he said, just do it.
You feel that way?
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite video. I got it liked. I watch it every now and then, because really, just do it. Just do it. That's what I go by. Even if I'm not making the money, like, the motivation won't die because of what I know I can do. I don't believe in the word can't a lot. Like, you know, there's always a way. It might be very, very, very fucking hard, but can't, like, not possible, that's tough. Like, not possible is tough, you know? Possible is everywhere. So, like, you know, the money, if it doesn't come, or if I'm not like looking for money at the time while I'm drumming, it's like, okay, I still love doing this shit and I like being the best. And I like challenges. I like when other people like outbest me. It gives me something to work on. Like I like to be better than myself and other people. I think the competitive drive in me is very strong. But I also know how to control it. But don't get it twisted, that shit is strong as hell. Like I will get merciless on a motherfucker very quickly. But also I could be the friendliest guy in the room and, help you out with what you need to do, But it's like life. It's really just life to me. I read the dictionary before, but not the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but I tried. I went to A to B and probably the second page of B, and I was just like, whew, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm reading a fucking dictionary, so.
Do you have any freestyles ready or anything like that you could do?
I actually do. I'll spit like a segment of this one.
Yeah.
It's like unreleased, and I don't care. I was planning on spitting a freestyle later tonight too. It's crazy, but it's if I'm the shit, that mean you number 2. Doodle, effortlessly working. Don't gotta introduce you. My songs make them bump and control your body like voodoo, when it's hot juice and make a thought loose like ramen noodles.
I see the punchlines.
Uh huh.
Do you have your drum pad?
Yes, I do.
You want to do some drumming?
Hell yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Actually, bro, I was like, I should bring the sticks and not be an amateur today. I'm gonna play something that I just actually learned from Ralph Nader.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called. I think it's called short stack lick. Cool. I didn't warm up, so if it's rusty, So we're gonna do that one more time.
Can I see an example of when you get in the zone? Like what if you're just sitting down after,
If I'm in the zone, first of all, my posture has to be correct. I have to have good posture. That's one. I don't hunch my back. And I'll start off with just playing some rolls. Just the minute I started, I already wasn't thinking of anything, cause I'm. And then I will go all day until my hands get tired or until my hands start warming up. I'll stop it and I'll up the gears. Now I'm just like my hands are stiff and cold right now, but stuff like that, I'll just be throwing the sticks at the pad all day. Sometimes it'll hit me in my face, but you gotta keep going. I'd have really hit my tooth so many times. I'm so glad I didn't chip anything. But literally, I just throw the stick. One thing I made sure I did before I went out and started doing shows, in general, because I only have so much time to practice and get nice and get right for the shows that the drumline wanted me to do. I would drop my stick on the floor to see how it would bounce. Okay. So it's I know how you're gonna drop. I know what's going on. You drop it anyway, okay, I know you're gonna do that. I got time to catch the reaction, And then I did that by throwing half-empty water bottles in the air. Very unpredictable movements, half-empty water bottles. So that shit helped me too with hand-eye coordination. And I play handball. That's my favorite sport, other than basketball. I love handball.
So it's like you trained yourself for like every possibility. That's pretty crazy.
Even I throw a stick on the wall. Like I literally just be throwing the sticks and see how they bounce. So I know, like, you know, if I do this, I know it's gonna hit every time. Like I'm not missing this. That's a never miss. Never miss it. This is all day. All day. It looks all day. Like I know what that thing is gonna do all the time. And then you got this one, you know? Flip that over, take it back. If I had another stick, I could do rolls.
Yeah, I mean, that's like going to the next level. Because I mean, I feel like that's what it takes. You know, you have to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it takes. And I don't think that's where the confusion lies when you're telling people you have what it takes. Because really, you have to know the crazy shit you have to do in order to just be good at what you do. Like you have to not even just go above and beyond, but you have to think outside of the box. You have to really think what is gonna be useful for you to get better. I got a trick that I don't really know the trick to yet. And it's like, I could fuck this up easily, but it's this.
Whoa, like behind the pinky?
Behind the pinky.
Oh,
you see?
I've never seen that.
And it's like, I don't know what the trick is to it, but it always happens. But I'm gonna work on that so it could be something I just know for sure I'm gonna hit every time. But that's a hit or miss right there. I love new shit, crazy shit, like the nose bounce. There's a funny story about the nose balance. This right here. Clown taught me how to do that.
Oh, yeah?
Real life story. Bearded lady, actually. Bearded lady taught me how to do that and juggle.
At the circus or where?
Nah, this is when I was in Red Hook. I lived in Red Hook. I went to 27s, PS 27s. I think it was like every month they have an assembly and a special guest comes to the school and shows everybody what's up. And she was juggling with the napkins and shit. I'm just like, that's hot. Like that, I want to do it. Like I want to do it. I want to do it. She balanced the shit on her nose. I did all that shit first time. Like I was a natural at that clown shit. Like I'm a natural clown. So that shit was, I loved it. That was amazing for me. I picked that up and I ran with it.
It's cool that you were able to like cultivate it.
Yeah.
You like formed it into a technique for learning almost.
Thank you.
What do you think it is? Like what would you say, like if you want to learn something, like what's your approach? Do it a lot of times? Repetition?
Yeah, consistency. Yeah, I say that. Consistency and focus. Because you can be consistent at the wrong shit. At doing the wrong thing. Like you can be very consistent at that, and to the point where now that has left you into habit. So now you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? And you keep doing the wrong thing, and now it's installed into your body and your everyday habits and shit. And now, it'll be hard for you to look for the right things. That's how a lot of people give up. You gotta be focused. You can't just do it, but you gotta get it done. But make sure you're focusing, all right? Because that's important. Like if I focused on the wrong thing practicing, I'd easily not be like where I would not do the things I'm able to do. Like, if I didn't throw a water bottle up in the air, if I didn't do the drumming under the water, like if I didn't focus on what exactly I need to work on and how like other things can help me with that, I wouldn't know what I would have been or how I would have been drumming, honestly.
Did anything else come to mind thinking about learning and discipline that you wanted to say?
Learning and discipline? You can't be boring when you're teaching somebody. That's the number one rule. Nobody learns like that. Nobody retains information that way. Like, unless you're just like forcing all of that shit in your head, there's no way you're gonna retain that information from somebody just boringly giving you the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I read something the other day that said like emotion and memory creates, no, emotion and knowledge creates memory. That's what I read the other day. And it makes sense because you have knowledge, yes, but what's gonna make you remember it? What's really gonna make you remember that, okay, boom, like your girlfriend's birthday or what should, like, you know what I'm saying, somebody you like doing that day. Like, you know, emotion and knowledge creates memory. And depending on how strong each is, the emotion is, the better the memory. The better you remember it and the better the retention. Like I said, there's a lot of good women in this park and there's a lot of motivation, so you have that too.
Cool. I feel like that was a great interview.
All right.
What do you think?
Yeah. I think, no, that was good. You actually opened me up to say some things I had to think about for myself.
That's the goal.
Yeah.